The piece chipped out here, I was taking it slow. It's hard to turn crosscut. This is my first time turning crosscut as well. I'm gonna glue this back in and try to keep turning, but I gotta take it slow next time. I'm gonna glue it in with some CA glue, and then probably from here, I'm gonna work with sandpaper. I re-glued that piece that chipped off back on, and I let it dry overnight with CA glue, and I'm gonna try turning it down again, except this time I'm not gonna be using any tools. I'm just gonna be using sandpaper to take it down to its final shape. It's not actually very noticeable right now. You can see the lines I got lined up pretty well. With this sanded down a little bit more, you can definitely see it's not going to be easy to see where that chip out is. I like to do some hand sanding because I can get the control of it real light, so I'm not going to make it not round anymore, but I just want to get the control, really feel where I'm at. Maple can be kind of tricky because if you sand on like the metal, it'll transfer some of that and kind of stain the maple a little bit. So you just got to be careful whenever you're turning it. Now I'm going to start sanding with 600. The crosscut grain in the wood, it's definitely a little more tricky to turn, but I really do like the pattern in it. It's pretty cool. I'm going to use a CA glue on the crosscut grain here. If you look at the wood, you can actually see how the grain is flowing this way. What happens with crosscut grain is if you had a log going like this, and then you cut the blank, kind of with the wood grain flowing this way. So it does give a really cool pattern on the wood. Alright, I've got the CA glue finish on here dried. Now let's go ahead and sand it. So the CA glue finish is sanded with 400 grit. Now I'm going to go up to 600, and then I'll put it on the buffer. Now you can start to see a luster forming onto it. Let's go ahead and take it to the buffer. Sometimes the bushings can be a little bit tricky to get off. Yeah, this one's a little stuck, but it's only a tiny bit of glue that's holding it on. There it is. Alright, now I'm just going to take a cotton rag and just kind of buff it. Sometimes it leaves some wax behind. I'm going to get all that off. You can see there's a really nice finish on here, and I really like the spalting pattern on here and the cross-cut pattern. Let's go ahead and assemble this into a pen. Here's the area where it was chipped. You almost can't even see it's there. There's just a faint line right there, but a lot of it just kind of blends in with all the other grain marks and the black marks. I've got the black pen kit right here. It's the executive pen, and I have the black hardware for it, and I'm pretty excited to see how this will look on a light wood. You almost virtually can't tell that I chipped it here, and if you could tell, what I could do is take the clip and put it right over that, but I don't want to cover this up. This is the coolest part of the blank. So I'm going to go around to the other side where it's blank and there's not much pattern, and I'll put the clip right there. Now we'll press the tip on. Now we'll take the refill and drop it into the pen. We'll take the twist mechanism and thread that in. We want to make sure that's tight in there because we don't want it to come out. And then we'll take the back piece and push that on. And what I found with these black kits is it's almost a little sticky on the back. So if you just take like a cotton rag or something that won't scratch it and clean that off. It makes it look really nice. Here's the pen all finished, and I'm very happy with the results. The spalting pattern is really cool in the wood, and I'm happy with how the CA glue finish looks and with the black hardware. One thing to add, I squared the blanks off too much. Whenever I cut it, I kind of hit the brass tube a little bit, like there was a lot of excess. And I cut it off on the bandsaw, which it hit the tube a little bit, which made it, I had to square it off a little bit more, which took more material off. And then whenever it chipped, then I had to square it off again, which took more material off. So it doesn't retract the whole way, it extends, and then this is as far as it retracts. So there's a pretty simple fix for that. If I just take the refill out, I can take that black cap off, trim the metal down, and put it back on, and put it back in the pen, and it'll retract fine. I'm putting a gel pen refill in it. This black piece just pulls out real easy, and then I can just take it on the disc sander and take maybe an 1/8 inch off. Alright, and here is the finished pen with the amazing spalting pattern. I'm very happy with the results here. I definitely learned a lot about turning crosscut wood, and I really like how you can see the grain going this direction. It gives it a really cool pattern to it. I'm very happy with it, and I really like the the black hardware that I have on here. It turned out really good. I don't think gold hardware would not have gone very well with this wood. I got this kit off of Penn State. You can get the black kits off of Rockler as well. I'm just very happy with it. This is probably one of my favorite pens that I've made so far. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.